Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a while, but I figured I wanted to make kind of a shorter video just going over telephony stuff, because I think the last time I made a video relating to any of my Nortel stuff, I still had the modular ICS on the wall, which isn't even there anymore. That was a good system. So let me think about this. First I had the 6x16. I got that because they were really cheap, and I had been watching some of the Maritime Girls videos I was like, because I wanted a phone system. I didn't really know what, but I wanted to start somewhere because I didn't know. So I watched the videos. I was like, oh, I'll get a 6x16. They're cheap. If I don't like it, whatever. And I ended up really liking it. So shortly thereafter, I got a modular ICS. And I want to say that was around January of 2023. Or no. March 2023 is when I got the ICS, I think. So February, March, somewhere around there. And I used it up until January 2024 when I got the my first BCM 50. And in retrospect, it's like that. It was a huge upgrade in many ways, and I was so excited. But in retrospect, I'm like, wow, that's really a simple system when I have this going on now. I used that for about a year, and then this January, it's 2025 as of the making of this video, I got 4 more BCM 50s because I was able to get them super cheap. And then a friend gave me this, and I started using the CS1000 probably 2 weeks ago. I used this from January until, well, 2 weeks ago, about. The BCM 450 is actually a really cool system. I'm not going to dick with it since it's obviously running. The only thing that has changed since using it is that this used to be an analog trunk module. Instead, I replaced it with a second digital trunk interface for T1 because I have some ideas for playing with that. The BCM 450 is actually quite a competent system. If they have this little weird thing here, that means they have a DSP expansion, which is cool that this one had it. This one came from a school district. You have 2 gigabit Ethernet, serial for things, and then your music on hold, paging relay, etc., and an expansion port, USB, your hard drives, and that's it. And you have your modules. And then down here, I just have a Panduit data patch wired to this, so I can plug more Star phones in. Basically, what I'm going for is full dialing transparency, and I basically already have that. It wasn't hard to set up. I can dial a BCM extension from the CS1000, and I can dial a CS1000 extension from the BCM. So the way I have this set up is that I have 7-digit directory numbers, partly because I'm insane, but that actually came in clutch because I'm also on a shared system. I'll get into that. All of the numbers on this start with 28. That is the office code, so to speak. And I used to have absolutely batshit numbering, but I decided to kind of rein that in a little bit because that numbering, I don't really know why I did it the way I did, but I also wasn't on a shared system when I came up with it, and when I moved to the BCMs and then to this, I carried it over. So like 282 would be analog ATAs, 226 would be analog station modules like this, 247 was IP phones, it just completely all over the place. But on this, it's like 281 is digital phones, 282 is analog, 287 is digital. Like I kind of copied some of the stuff, but this is 26, this is 28. I'll get to this actually, but this is 256 and this is 259 because, you know. Anyways, so I used the BCM for a while, and over the course of about a year, I just kind of assembled stuff for the CS1000 because you need media gateways, you need cards. Clearly there's quite a few cards, and I assembled stuff over time. First I started out with one media gateway, then somebody I know gave me 3 more media gateways and a bunch of cards in them. Most of these cards here were in the media gateways already, so it's been a process, but I was finally able to get the licensing dealt with, which, CS1000 or Nortel in general, is a pain in the ass. Now, for the BCM 50 and 450, I have the licensing down to a science on these. I know exactly what to do. It's not hard. I also have helped people with it. Wink, wink. But it's easy. This, yeah, pain in my ass. But it's dealt with now. It doesn't matter. I have a long way to go with this, though. So before I get deep into this, I do want to go over some of the other things. This is a Dell Optiplex. Oh, that card's not on. Oh, that's weird. All this is doing is running ESXi, and it's an Optiplex 7020. It actually used to be my main PC a long time ago. Well, actually, whatever. It's running ESXi and Windows Server 2003 in a VM. That's all it's running. All for the sake of this card. Oh, I guess the VM isn't on. What that card is... Hold on, I have another one of those cards somewhere. I will grab it really quick. Actually, I take that back. I have no idea where that card is. It doesn't matter. Basically, it is a RAS card, remote access server card for Windows Server. So that sounds kind of odd, but it will make sense in a moment. So I have 2 cards. The one I was trying to find that I don't know where it is has 8 modems and 2 ISDN and BRI ports. And of course, BRI supports 2 simultaneous calls, therefore 8 calls. This is the nice one. This is PRI. So using T1 PRI, I have up to 23 channels of modems. Now, again, that doesn't sound crazy, but it's a digital modem that supports V.90, which means using this I can get 56K, or, well, you're never going to get 56K, but the best I've gotten out of that is 54.6 kilobits per second, which I think is really the best you can expect at all. I'm happy with that. So this is my dial-up, because why not? And this PRI cable, T1 cable, goes up to the Cisco. So this is a Cisco ISR 2921. I got this one because it was really cheap. I want to get something better. Just not that this is particularly bad or anything. I want something with more features. So these are 4 T1s coming into it. This is doing voice switching. 2 more T1s. These are T1E1s. This is a 4 MFT T1E1. It's a VWIC 3. And this is also a VWIC 3 2 MFT T1E1. There we go. And then that's also a VWIC 3 4 FXS DID. So that's 4 analog ports. And then this Avaya G430. This is providing... basically all I really use it for is this, because I can barely reach it. There you go. I'm part of a shared telephony system, and that is effectively my gateway to it. It's running on Avaya Aura. This is an analog card, and then this is a BRI card. I can't get that working because there's some weird shit with it, and I don't know what to do. So also an AdTran that I'm going to use for trunking on the CS1000 once I figure out how these things work. I have no idea how to use an AdTran yet. But anyways, this is kind of the auxiliary hardware. This is the core hardware, and then there's that. So, That's the BCM CS1000 backstory is done. Oh wait, there's a couple other things. Excuse the fact that it's a fucking mess in here. This hateful thing, I want to talk about that. Also, BCM shit. So this box here is called an SVP thing. I forget exact. SpectraLink voice proxy, something like that. So that is for this hateful thing. Actually, I call it hateful. This thing's actually pretty cool. This is a wireless LAN set. See, Wombat Express CS1000. Go out 287-3228. Actually, if I hear the relays clicking, since I don't have the AdTran working for my external trunks, I'm using analog trunks, which sucks, but it's better than nothing. Because here's the thing, this stuff, I don't just have this for fun. I mean, that is part of it. This is responsible for my day-to-day communications. When I give somebody my phone number, I don't give them my cell phone number. I give them the phone number that makes this thing ring. I don't text. Well, I do, but I don't like to. I make phone calls. That's how I am. And I like having such a system. But anyways, talking about the CS1000 itself. I'm not going to go over how particularly all this works. I kind of do want to do a video about that, but the CS1000 is very complicated. Oh, one other thing to mention. There is a network switch back there because there's a lot of network connections. So, you have your media gateways, and this, you could have these, you could have like an option 11 cabinet, big Meridian, or small, whatever, MG1010. There's different media gateways. These are just what I have, and I also like them because they look like air conditioners. I call them air conditioners anyways. I always forget. This one, this is A, this is B, this is C. I also have a D. This is A. This one's host name is Hair. One of them is Kenmore, Frigidaire, and what's the other one? It's not Friedrich. Hair, Kenmore, Frigidaire, Carrier, right? That's what it was. I thought it was Friedrich. I digress. You know. So, these are the CPPMs. This is the core of the CS1000. There's different cards. There's a CPDC, like here I have 2 of these. There's a CPMGS, which is a media gateway controller plus one of these. There's the CPP4, which is that I'm not even gonna get into that. That's just weirdness. But anyways, so this is the call server. This is the signaling server. I want to use this for the signaling server, but for reasons I can't right now. It's a software problem. These cards are really just here to. I just wanted a safe place to put these cards, and this is a convenient place to put them. I will take this out so you can see it. Oh, that's where that SSD is. This has an Athlon X264 3400 plus, I think. But obviously you can see they're also not actually connected. This is a universal trunk card. You can use that for, like, for music on hold, paging, RAN trunks, so, you know, recorded announcements. It has like activation relays. I mean, and also, you know, analog phone trunks, both ground start, loop start. The best way to think about them, if you're like a North Star person or BCM person, is think about these ports, you know, your music on hold, external ringer relay, paging relay. Take that plus an analog trunk module and just also add some more craziness onto it, and then you have your universal trunk card. They're very handy to have. I have 2 of them since the other one's in service. So, media gateway controllers providing the backplane. None of the cards in this media gateway are actually using this. So, but it's, you know, I will put a call pilot in here at some point once. They're a couple $100, and not really, you know, I don't have that money. So this is the core cabinet, and then this is kind of, I like having things more separated out, but just, I don't want to have 4 media gateways right now, because then this doesn't have anywhere good to go. Because these are 5U a piece, and I don't have a rack because reasons. This is 4U, these are 5U a piece. So this is the line shelf, as I call it, even though that's not technically accurate. This is an XCMC card, so this provides caller ID. There's just a bunch of FPGAs, or maybe they're DSPs, I don't remember. But it provides 32 channels of caller ID to analog lines. This is an analog line card with message waiting. This has 16 analog lines. It does analog phone stuff. This provides caller ID to that, which is actually pretty cool. Digital line card. This is for the Meridian phones. You know, like the M2616 and the M3000 series, 2000, 3000 series, yeah. And then that's a universal trunk card. So all of these cards are in active use, which is pretty cool. If I call an analog extension 2829042, might actually be able to hear the relay for the ringing. Cool thing about this is it has an adjustable ring generator, which is what all this is. You adjust it with dip switches here. So that's the frequency, so 20 cycles, 25 cycles, 50 cycles. You get 70, 75, 80, 86 volts. I don't know why it's 86 instead of 85. And then your message waiting lamp. Pretty cool. I like these things a lot. They're also very robust. And then down here, I have my, I guess, a digital shelf, so to speak. So these are 2 TMDI cards. I have one here I can show. These have 3. Though this one does not, this does not have the clock controller data board, which sits there. The reason that lit up is when you put the cover on, it lights up the jewel, which is kind of cool that they put a switch there so it doesn't blind you. So 2 TMDIs, these are T1 trunks, well, ISDM PRI. So this one's going to this port here. And then this one's going to be for trunks, external trunks rather. This is a tie trunk. And then this is a line side T1, so this provides, actually, this is disabled, so I can't take this card out. On CS1000 and the Meridian, if this light is on, so all of these cards here have one red LED. If that light is lit, that means you can take the card out. If it's not lit, it means don't take it out. Oh wait, this one's disabled. I'm not going to take that out. I'm just taking this card out because it's interesting. This provides one T1 to an endpoint. So this is a line side. The terminology seems odd at first, but it makes sense because these are line cards, and this is a trunk card, and this is a line side interface. Only thing that sucks is this does not support ISDN. So the T1s that come off of this are not PRI. They're not ISDN PRI. They are T1. There is a difference. T1 has 24 channels with raw bit signaling, so you're going to get 56 kilobit per second per channel, but you get 24 channels. ISDN PRI, you get 23 channels and then 1 signaling, so you get 23 bare channels and 1 delta channel. ISDN BRI, which is what people usually just call ISDN, is 2 bare, 1 delta. So this does not do ISDN at all. It does support AMI and B8ZS, if you know what that means. But it's still a useful card, though really, I only have it because I just want to dick with it. It's hard to get that card in. Because here's the thing, if I need T1s, it's gonna be coming out of this, and realistically, not that it is, but if it is a concern, I can just do aggregate cards and have 2 running into that. But I have 23 channels, and that's enough. So that's, yeah, I suppose that's about it. This 20-minute long rambling of telephony. There's a lot more going on too, but for the purposes of this video, this is all that's pertinent. So if for some reason you watched this whole thing, thank you for watching. And I do intend to possibly make more videos. I don't know. We shall see.